May I request His Holiness Bhaktivinoda Vinasham Nishinga Swami Maharaj, who is also Srila Prabhupada disciple and uh, inspiration for all of us, and especially in my life, he is one of the important person who always inspired me to love Gurudev, my spiritual master, and always encouraging me to serve Prabhupada mission. May I request Maharaj to bless us with his words and about this place. Thank you so much, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Ananga Mohan Prabhu, who is certainly a very dear disciple of Srila Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. And we're very glad to see him do this wonderful service here at Ultadanga Junction Road. Ultadanga Junction Road is well known in Calcutta. It's a very well-known area. And somewhat, when the devotees first of all acquired this property, it was quite dilapidated, we could say. It was run down, It was not in good condition at all. It hadn't been used for some time. So they did a lot of work to bring it up to what it is today, where it's really very impressive. His Holiness Bhakti Nrsinga Swami was just saying to me, he said, oh my, he said, if we had a center like this in London, it would be a big attraction. So here we are in Calcutta, and certainly it's a very good attraction. It's very nice. So we heard, certainly it was here. It was in the year 1922 when our own Bhaktivedanta Swami, while he was a young grihasta, he was with his friend, and his friend was telling him that, I met this really nice sadhu, and you should come and meet him. And Srila Prabhupada said to him, oh, I've seen so many sadhus, I'm so sick of them. They're very poor quality, they're not genuine, and I don't have any faith or trust in them. Of course, at that time, our own founder Acharya was a follower of Gandhi. And as a follower of Gandhi, he was dressed in the khadi, the white khadi cloth which the followers of Gandhi all wore that time. It was like a protest against the cloth which was being imported from the UK. They were wearing the hand-loom khadi cloth. And sometimes you see, here they have khadi bhavans. Khadi bhavan, they sell the khadi cloth, which is very nice. It's very comfortable to wear in the summer and in the winter. It's warmer than the mill cloth. Anyway, Prabhupada was in his khadi, and he reluctantly came with his friend, and they came in, and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada was here on this roof, and they walked in, and as they walked in, then Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati immediately addressed them that, you're a nice young man, why don't you teach the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? And Srila Prabhupada replies how he responded by saying, our country is not independent yet. At that time, India was still under the British rule. So Srila Prabhupada, as a follower of Gandhi, Gandhi was always promoting independence for India. And certainly Srila Prabhupada thought this would be a good thing. So when Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati spoke to him about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission, he had responded by saying, no, India has to get independence first, and then only it will be effective to take up Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission. But Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada immediately responded and told them, "No, you are wrong. The mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so important, it cannot wait for some political adjustment." And this Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati then went on to explain how the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is beyond all kinds of material considerations. And the fact that India was a colony of the British Empire was not very important in terms of propagating the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Prabhupada said he was impressed. He said, I was defeated. That usually he would win his arguments, but on this occasion he had been defeated. And he understood that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada was a very powerful spiritual personality. So that was 1922. And then Prabhupada explained, he said, at that time I was a young man, recently married, we had a child. He said I couldn't really think about taking up any missionary work. And somehow the contact was lost, and Prabhupada later on had moved over to what was then known as Allahabad, and now it's called Prayagraj. And he was doing his business. He had a pharmacy business. It was called Prayag Pharmacy. Srila Prabhupada was somewhat of a chemist and also a Ayurvedic doctor, and he would make some kind of medicines. Anyway, he had some pharmacy business, and he had his pharmacy there in Prayagraj. 1933, when the Gaudiya Math came there, and they had come to his shop, and they said, we heard you are a pious man, we've come to meet you. And then Srila Prabhupada realized that this was the same person he had met previously in Calcutta in 1922. And so Srila Prabhupada made friendship with those men, and he would go to the Gaudiya Math there in Allahabad, and then he got initiation. It was, I think, 1933. 1933. Yeah, the same year they met, he got initiation. And but Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, he disappeared 1936. So Srila Prabhupada said, I only had a few opportunities to associate with my Guru Maharaj. He said 4 or 5 times I met him. He said that was all. He said, but he said, I never forgot all of his instructions to me. And so the beginning was here in this place in 1922. As we heard, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati was here from 1918 to 1930. So for 12 years he was operating here. And later on they opened they have a big temple in Baghbazar, the Gaudiya Math temple there, marble temple, a big, very beautiful place. Prabhu, you did the book about Calcutta with the photographs?
We are bringing that.
You're bringing that? Yeah. So he published a book about different sites in Calcutta, and one of the pictures is a Baghbazar Gaudiya Math, and it looks very beautiful. When you see the pictures, it's very nice. But Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati was not so satisfied because he saw his disciples all thinking about being comfortable and living comfortably in the place. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada said, better we sell the marble and print books. He didn't want devotees just living comfortably. And similarly, Srila Prabhupada also told us, he said, our temples are not a place just for us to eat and sleep, but they're a base for us to go out and fight Maya. That is our business, that we stay in the temple not to be comfortable and not just to be eating and sleeping, but to go out and preach and distribute the message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu everywhere. So, in this way, here in Calcutta, our devotees work very hard, distributing a lot of books, and we can see from the different places we've been visiting how big the congregation is here. We had a program at Saptagram, there was about 10,000 people came that day. And tomorrow we have another big program. There will be 3,000 to 4,000 people there tomorrow. We just had a program just now in Panihati, not Panihati, the Jagannath Bari, yeah. And my goodness, the crowd, unbelievable. So many people. The place was just packed, So very active preaching is going on here in Calcutta. But Prabhupada was not thinking small, he was always thinking big. One time, when the devotees had first come to India, they were looking for land in Vrindavan. And one devotee, Prabhupada wanted to get some land and build a temple. One devotee suggested to Prabhupada, why don't we just get a little place in Bhat Bazar and we can make a center there like that. But Prabhupada looked at him and said, I cannot think small. I have to do something big for my Guru Maharaj. So this was Prabhupada's mood, he didn't like to do anything small. He had to shoot the rhinoceros, right? And so, certainly, I think Srila Prabhupada would feel very pleased to see all the preaching which is going on here in Calcutta and in Bengal, and generally in India. India is certainly a success story to see all the wonderful centers which have developed in different places in different parts of India, and particularly here in Goramandala Bhumi, here in this part, Calcutta and Panihati, these places. It's so wonderful to see the temples coming up, and not just only temples, but congregations, huge congregations, many people, and they're coming forward, they're getting initiation, studying. So we look forward to seeing more and more development here. Of course, Prabhupada liked to expand. He would send people to other places, It's very nice to preach in India. It's a very different thing when you go out of India and you try to preach. You go to Russia, or you go to China, or you go to Africa. It's a very different experience, It's not at all like being in India. And here in Bengal, Calcutta, this is the land of Mahaprabhu. Everyone knows Gauranga. Yeah, so of course it's not so easy, but definitely there's a big difference preaching in Africa and India and China, Russia, these places. And Prabhupada wants it. We preach everywhere. Mahaprabhu wanted Nagar Ati Gram. We have to go everywhere. This was Srila Prabhupada's desire, and certainly Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, and before him Bhaktivinoda Thakur, they wanted that, they had that vision, they saw the need for preaching everywhere. Ananda Mohan Prabhu himself, he he was going regularly to Bangladesh because he's a fluent Bengali preacher. Did you go to Thailand?
Yes,
And he went to Thailand also, did some preaching there in Thailand. He does very nice kirtan, and with a group of kirtaniers they went to Thailand and had nice programs. So like this we have to think. Think of the world first and then think of yourself. This was how Prabhupada trained us, like that, thinking of the world. Okay, so Bhagavat Amrita Prabhu is here. He is also Prabhupada's disciple. He has many years experience of preaching. He will also tell us more, and then Bhakti Nrsimha Swami Maharaj is there too. I'm sure they will both like to say something. Thank you very much.
Okay, sir, you can announce.